Reports have shown, hidden in the United States currency notes reveals something very insidious. These images are disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised. Reports show the bills produced and distributed for the United States have printed on them bombings that have happened in the past, and bombings that will happen in the future.
I'm going to pause out right there. This is a little short video we made a while back to draw your attention to the U.S. currency notes. Now, this is where my ministry started in 2002, and this was a very big part of the beginning of my ministry was uncovering that all these bills have images of bombings in the United States printed on them. I'm going to hold up a bunch of different bills. They're all here. I'm going to let the focus in on the one that's right in front of you vertical. That's the federal building bombing in Oklahoma City. The one that's upside down, that's the Twin Towers right there. The $100 bill, which I'm rotating right side up, that is the destruction of New York by nukes. There it is. There's New York being destroyed by a nuclear wind. But you can't see that nuclear wind unless you know there's 3 layers of ink. You can see the buildings in what looks like a river of water coming through the middle if you let the light color be the meandering water coming in between the buildings. You might be able to perceive that, but you'd never be able to perceive that this $100 bill right here is New York being destroyed by nukes. And I'm going to show that to you in one moment. Here again is the $20 bill that I had when I was a child, and this was available to me when I was a child, but it changed. This right here has the federal building bombing in Oklahoma City printed on the front, and it shows the building blown up in half on the back, or the face blown off the front of the building right there with the floors jutting out. The new $20 bill made in 96 has images of the Twin Towers on one side and the Pentagon on the other side. The new $10 bill has a tsunami covering a 7-story building. Okay, so I just showed you 4 bills that I'm holding in my hands. Now, here's the thing. 120 is in everybody's wallet if you have a $20 bill. The other 20 I showed you is no longer in circulation. They pulled these out of the banks. I managed to get a hold of about 10 of them. I asked my bank if any came in, would they hold them for me? And they did. It shows the federal building bombing in Oklahoma City. The new $100 bill shows the nuclear devastation of New York City, and the $10 bill shows a tidal wave covering a 7-story building, and it's also New York City. Also, the $50 bills show the Hoover Dam breaking and water coming over the dam. But the old $100 bill, which I just happened to get at the store the other day, I cashed a check and they gave me an old $100 bill, and I was like, wow, I haven't seen one of these in a long time. And I was like, that's crazy. What's crazy is if you have eyes to see, it's a head of an alien. And I'm like, wow, isn't it interesting? On the very time that the Lord is revealing to the guy that showed everybody what's on the U.S. currency, that on the old $100 bill, the entire thing is the head. The entire thing is the head of the serpent race, an alien. And he's arriving with, what is he arriving with? Well, it's the old $100 bill, and it shows, I can perceive very easily the alien, and he's arriving with the advent of this nuclear devastation in New York. Old 100, new 100. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to play you a super short little video. It's like 2 minutes long. It shows you there's 3 layers of ink. I no longer have the computer that had the program that was able to show those 3 layers of ink. It got destroyed. Anyway, long story about that too. Anyway, but I can see there's 3 layers of ink on this as well. There's definitely 3 layers of ink on this. And I can tell that the way the bill was designed is designed to be an alien head, the whole thing like an alien. Anyway, so let me play this short little video so you can see the 3 layers of ink. And then guess what happened today? I got some weird news feed from ABC News. Now, I don't trust any of the mainstream media. I don't trust most of the news I see. I go vet what I can, and I go try and do a diligent job to vet what I see. But I rely on the Lord God to show me news. That's who I rely on. Let's watch this short little video clip. Not this one. We'll go back to this one in just a moment, but let me show you this one real quick. Okay, so this is a very short little video that I've had out for a long time, but now we have this drone situation and they're front loading everybody. To say that they don't know where the drones are from is complete and utter nonsense. And now they're trying to get the population to believe, like, well, this has actually been going on over nuclear sites for the past couple years. We just didn't want to tell you guys. That's what the new narrative is out there. So if I'm watching the words I just spoke on other videos where news stations are saying, oh, well, yeah, it just so happens. We've actually been seeing this kind of thing over our nuclear bases for quite a while. Now it's like, now it looks like it's spreading a lot. Okay. And then today you have ABC News showing you what I'm about to show you. But let me play a 2-minute video first. Ready? Let's watch this first. This show says, if you look up here in the corner, Alfred P. Mora Federal Building bombing right here. And right here is the image of the side of the building. So this shows the blast on the side of the building. And I encourage you to go look up the Alfred P. Mora building on Google Images. You know what? And yes, the attacks on my equipment have already begun. So let's see what happens. I'm trying to show you this, but things that have never ever happened to my equipment are happening now while I'm trying to show this to you. All right, hopefully I've fended off the current attack. I'm not kidding. My equipment's being attacked. There's an outside source influencing my programs trying to stop this. Happens all the time. This was a new one. Never seen the one that just happened. Okay, you ready, guys? I'm going to show you a short video that shows you on every bill, this bill, there are 3 layers of ink that literally show the Twin Towers blowing up and exploding in 3 different layers of ink. It plays like a 3-frame movie, like you used to do maybe when you were in school. You draw a picture of a stick man and flip the pages on your side of your notebook. I used to do it throwing a spear, like draw a stick man, 3 different or 4 or 5 different images of him throwing the spear and then go with my pages, and it would look like I had a little stick man throwing a spear. We're going to do the same thing with these notes. Let me show you how to understand it. Okay, ready? Here it is. This says Alfred P. Mora building. That's the federal building bombing in Oklahoma City. Let's go try and check it out. I tried to show you one and my equipment went wacko. Oh, wow. They do not want you to see this. All my equipment just did it all over again. They do not want you to see this. Okay. Go look up Alfred P. Mora building, Google Images, and look at the corners of the building. They're rounded. They're very unusual. They're not sharp corners like 90 degrees. They're rounded corners on this big building. That's what you're seeing. I'm just going to play this video. When I go to Google Images, my entire program malfunctions. The whole thing shuts down, and by the grace of God, I had a way to recover it again. Let's do it again. Okay, let's see. My whole desktop is gone again. Here we go. Let's try and get my desktop back. So we'll go to YouTube, and I'll get Liz Cheney's furious because they're going to criminally probe her. She is a criminal. She's a huge criminal. Anyway, so if she doesn't like that, that's too bad, because they probed Trump, didn't they? Well, why is she so upset? She's got nothing to worry about. Okay, here we go. Alfred P. Mora building right here. You see the rounded corners? There's 3 layers of ink. Pay attention. So the federal building bombing right here in Oklahoma City is right here at the top of your screen. It tells you what it is. Right here on the left is layer 1 of ink. So the way you're going to watch this video, they're doing it again. They are just determined to stop this. I'm going to keep doing it. I don't care if I have to go to 5 different laptops to do it. I'm going to do it. Here you go. Alfred P. Mora building. Ready? Right here is layer 1 of the ink. See, ink layer 1 to the left. Layer 2 will be right in the middle, and layer 3 will be here to the right. Let's get this going before anything else happens. Ready? Let's go. It's very, you know what? Now they're changing the size of my screen. Let me pause this. Okay, you know what? I'm going to pause this. I really don't want you seeing this. Look at this. Okay, guys, ready? What I've done is I've tried to widen the recording area of my screen as much as possible because now my screen size is changing and it's just absurd what they're doing here. Ready? Let's go. Alpha P Mora. Layer 1, layer 2, layer 3 right here. So here's layer 1 of the ink. I'm going to have to slide this up a little bit. So here's the building blowing up. Here's layer 2 of the ink where I'm circling. Here's layer 3. That is obviously a building exploding right there. 1, 2, 3. 3 layers. There it is. Let me see if I can crop this to where it's doable. It's so crazy that they're... Let me see if I can stretch it. No, that is crazy. Okay, let's keep going. Alfred P. Moore building, the old $20 bill. Let's keep going. This should have begun playing. Here we go. Now, if you look at the top right here, you'll see all 3 layers play in a row, like the building blowing up. Just look where I'm circling right here. This is the building, and we'll show all 3 layers of ink at the bottom all at once. So watch it play like a 3-frame movie. Here you go. Ready? Let's do it again. Watch right here. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. There it is. There's the Alfred P. Moore building blowing up right in front of your face, printed on your U.S. currency notes. That's the old $20 bill. There it is. Okay, proven. Twin Towers, same thing. Going to do it the same way. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 3. 1, 2, 3. There it is. 1, 2, 3. See it blowing up? That's the Twin Towers blowing up. The Pentagon, same thing. Okay, here's the 3 layers of ink on the Pentagon. Right, here's 1, 2, see the difference? And then 3. So 1, no, that's not 1. 1, 2, 3. See it? There it is. Okay, here is the Hoover Dam. You see right here, the top, you see those lines right there? They changed the bill, and those lines are no longer on the new $50 bill. They went around the oval that's on the back of the bill. So those double lines were on the back of the bill. Let me see if I have a bill to show you real quick so you can see. You can go do this yourself. Go pull up the bills. Here it is. Watch. Right there. You see this? You see those clouds? They're used not to be clouds on the bill. And where my finger is right here, there was an oval going all the way around this. There was a double line blocking all this in, but there were no clouds. Well, when they changed it and they took off those 2 lines and they added the clouds, well, when you make a pentagram and turn it upside down, now it shows the Hoover Dam with water moving over the bills. But what's interesting is, when you get the old $50 bill and you change the resolution, it looks like some kind of like a harmonic attack on the wall itself. You cannot see it at all with the naked eye. But watch this. I think it's on here. Here we go. Okay, that's the $50 bill before it got changed. And then watch that. See that? Look at those waves. Look at those crazy looking waves on the wall of the dam. Look at that. Right here. Weird. Now here's a new $50 bill right here, and instead of having those crazy looking like waves that are hitting it, where it's got the wall across the top, the new bill, ready? Here comes a new bill. Here's the new bill. And when they added the clouds, so this is where they added the clouds, and the clouds make this imagery. Look at the unidirectional lines. See, all of them are unidirectional, like water coming over a dam. Now watch. There it is. That's water moving over because the wall is gone. You can't make this stuff up, folks. You couldn't even think this up. Okay, here's a new $100 bill. Out of the sea shall come fire and smoke and a devouring wind. That's a prophetic utterance. Now watch that devouring wind destroy all these buildings. Watch. There you go. There's 3 layers of ink right there. Ready? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. There it is. Okay, so now on the new $100 bill, if I can find it, is the head of an alien, the entire thing. The entire thing is the head of an alien. And the reason they put this other, that there's this right here, that's called plausible deniability. That's the head of an alien, guys. The serpent race. They knew their agenda would be printed on the U.S. currency. Their entire agenda would be printed on the U.S. currency. All right, so let's just dig into it. There's a new $20 bill made in 1996. The bombing that's on that, the Twin Towers and the Pentagon bombing right there, happened in 2001. Let's go to this bill, the Alfred P. Murrah building. You just saw it, 3 layers of ink. That bill was made when I was a child, and I don't know the year of the bombing of the Alfred P. Murrah building. Go look it up. There's the building blown up, blown in half. Here is the $10 bill. That's what we're waiting for. That's if they printed the images on the other bills, you don't think they're going to do these? Of course they are. Tidal wave. New $100 bill. Devouring wind. Nuclear attack on New York City. Buildings being devoured by a nuclear blast. And the old $100 bill, look who's doing it. Now just look at it. See it? The whole thing is ahead of a serpent being the serpent race. Told you. And they don't want me showing this to you. I've had threats. I've had death threats. I have had all kinds of threats. I don't care. I serve a mighty God. I'm not afraid of them. And I don't want you to be afraid of them either. The Lord God is the one who gave you the soul. They are the ones trying to harvest your soul. I'll say it again. The Lord God gave you your soul. You exercised your free will to take on a host body which is owned by them, and they are trying to harvest your soul. That's what the whole world's all about. Solving the riddle of ages. Okay, now let me play you this video that I saw today. Here we go. I'll finish this. How obvious is that? You know what? I'm going to play it all the way through one time, so if anybody wants it in its entirety, it'll be in the folder, and here it is all the way through. Ready? Let's go. Alfred P. Murrah building. There it is. Twin Tower bombing. There it is. Twin Tower bombing. All printed on the money in your wallet. It's called a talisman. It's a spell. It's witchcraft. Pentagon bombing. There it is. 1, 2, 3. There it is. On your $20 bill with the Twin Towers, same day. There it is. Explosions. $50 bill, the dam without, the dam that's got the water containment across the top. No clouds on the back of this old $50 bill, but here you'll see where they added the clouds. Okay, that looks like the attack, maybe some kind of a, I don't know, some kind of a weapon, like energy weapon being used against the wall, maybe. See it right there? Energy weapon being used against the wall. Now you'll see the wall and they'll come down and the water flowing over the wall. This pattern will change because the $50 bill changed. So this pattern goes away and then the new pattern shows up because of the clouds. Now here's the new pattern. There it is. They destroyed the dam. Here comes the water. $100 bill. There it is. Okay, it's not arguable, right? There it is. You're looking right at it. And then all of a sudden, within the past couple days, that's the missile going into the water, by the way. On the back side of the bill, $100 bill, you'll see the fuselage of a missile making impact going down into the water, and you're going to see the splashdown from the missile going in. You'll see the first layer of ink right there. And here you go, watch. There the fins are. Here's the fuselage of the missile going in the water. And there's the splashdown. There it is. Okay. And then oddly enough today, in the last couple days, I should have said, the Lord gave me a new $100 bill and allowed me to see it's the head of our friends that is in the hieroglyph of Akhenaten and Nefertiti, the serpent race. That's who's doing all the smoke and mirrors. And they're doing it through the host body system, through all the people that are liars and dissemblers and actors and phonies. That's who they use. That's their essence. They're deceivers. They're deceivers. Understand? Okay. Is it me or does her eye look just crazy wide open right here? That eye, I mean, I'm just making an observation. She looks kind of in a trance to me. Anyway, but there she is. Ready? Listen now. ABC News today.
Aliens exist and President Trump knows about it. That's according to Israel's former space security chief. In an interview with an Israeli newspaper, he said the aliens have been waiting until today for humanity to develop and reach a stage where we will understand in general what space and spaceships are. NBC News chief global correspondent Bill Neely explains this one.
Hi, Alison. Well, this is quite a story, and it comes from the man who headed Israel's space security program for nearly 30 years. Chaim Eshed is making the extraordinary claim that the United States and Israel have been in contact with a group of aliens for years. Not immigrants, but extraterrestrials. He has called them the Galactic Federation of Aliens, and he says President Trump is aware of the existence of these aliens and had been on the verge of revealing their secrets, he claims, but was asked not to do so by the Federation in order to prevent what he calls mass hysteria. Well, the retired general says the US and Israel have kept it from the public because, quotes, humanity isn't ready and the aliens don't want to reveal themselves until humanity can evolve, he says, and understand what space really is. Well, the good news is that he claims an agreement has been reached between the US government and the aliens, a contract to do experiments here. There's also, he says, a secret underground base on Mars where there are American and alien representatives.
All righty then. Now, isn't that interesting that the Lord God whom I serve, the one that showed me the Vatican, is a serpent, birthing another serpent. Sounds like a serpent race thing, right? Why does everybody go into a serpent and worship a bunch of dying angels that are getting slaughtered in the mouth of a serpent, I wonder? Well, because now we know the serpent race is harvesting the sheep race. The serpent race is these guys. The sheep race is angelic beings, and they're harvesting us. And the whole thing you think humanity is a bunch of smoke and mirrors. It's an illusion. The whole host body system is an illusion. I just proved that because the Lord God whom I serve, let me show you all the bombings on the money. So if you don't know the bombings on the money, are you living in reality, yes or no? If you don't know that the Vatican's really a snake, how could you know the truth? Jesus said you'll know the truth, and the truth will set you free. So if you don't even know who you are, that you're being farmed by these guys, well, then you don't know what's going on. Okay, having more issues, mega issues with the program. I'm going to just stop it right here. I love you. Hugs from Johnny. I'm not going to waste any more time just to not let them get into this video. I love you guys. Pay attention. We're going to be doing videos from different computers today. Here comes this one. Spread this everywhere. Spread this everywhere, everywhere. Everybody needs to know what's going on right now.